Welcome back to another Disco Inferno YouTube channel video. Today we're doing an extra special thing. As you can tell by the title, I think I have what's regarded to be a controversial opinion. I mean, if we look at... Let me quick type with one hand because I am talented. Hold on. Songs? Geeked? Acting. I'm sorry, I googled the album. I'm trying to find reviews. Okay. Yikes. Everything's going crazy right now. Let's see. Let me check real quick.
Performing on the biggest...
Yikes. Don't want that. I'm going to... Where did he... I pulled up the Fantano video. What did he give it? A light 2. Yikes. Why can I not find any other 55% like this album? Why can I not find reviews? Maybe because I didn't look up reviews. Hold on. Pitchfork gave the album a 2.9. If you know Rap Reviews, they gave it a 4. 5 for lyrics, 3 for music. They also wrote an article about it, so maybe, I don't know. Yeah, my point is very mixed, very negative reviews. I don't agree. I have the hot take. Not that it's his best. No, by heavens, it's not his best. It's not even average. It is below average. I will give you that. It is a below average album, especially for Lil Wayne. But I don't think it's too worthy. Hold on. How do I fix this? I hope you can't hear that in the recording. But I thought of a fun little way we could because I want to talk about this album in depth, full thoughts, everything about it. But how do I do every song in an album without sounding boring? That's where this comes in. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a tier list. I made it myself, so that's how you know it's good. I actually want to add an F tier. What's worse than green? Blue. Yeah. F. Okay. So these are out of order here, but I promise each one of these means something. So we're going to start with the top of the album, go all the way down to the bottom. I believe this album starts off really great. King Carter, which is why this crown is here, serves as a good intro track to what I think is... We'll get to my album opinions later, but I think it serves as a fantastic intro track, right? It's 1:49, so it's not too long. Lil Wayne doesn't even rap on it. It's just a nice little, like, orchestral, like, epic, majestic king piece. And so for that reason, I'm gonna go B. I'm going to go B with this. I haven't thought out these rankings quite yet, so we'll figure that out as I go, but I'm going to go a solid B. It's a great piece, but there's not that much to evaluate there, so I'm going to leave it maybe not S tier, right? Next track, Welcome to the Carter. Still kind of continues more of that like majestic, older style recording and stuff like that. But it has Wayne. And Wayne delivers verses. I like it. Let's see. Let's pull up Genius. I'm doing it on my phone, which is why you can't see it. Well, that works. I found the song exactly. So, like, I remember here and there some of the bars from this one. I mean, it's a Wayne verse. It's 2 Wayne verses, actually. And I thought it was a good banger. Actually, 3 verses. Dang. I forgot about that. Oh, I didn't know he dropped the bonus. There's a bonus. Maybe I'll have to listen to those tracks and add like a little snippet at the end of this video. Maybe I will. A remix and a OG track. Huh. With Future and Lil Baby. Alright, let's get back to this. He's got some real solid verses. Nice sound to it. I'm going to put this one in B2. I don't want to get too antsy at the start to start placing things. Now, next track is Bells. I like this one so much. This is a banger, okay? Listen. You might listen to this and go, what is bro on? Like, he must be insane, right? I promise I'm not insane. I like the way this one flows. Like, just the hook. It's so catchy, right? I listened to this album so many times. This was one of the first things that clicked into my head as like, oh, I know the lyrics to this one. I really enjoy this one, and also it references Taco Bell. I'm gonna put this one, this might be bold, I'm gonna put this one in S. I actually really like the track. Verse 1, amazing. Verse 2, I actually really like. I think I like it more than verse 1. Now let's go to the next track. Which is hip hop. It's Lil Wayne, Big X the Plug. And also, I don't know why Genius doesn't have it on here, but also, okay, there it is. Jay Jones. Although he's not listed as a primary artist. Weird. Which Genius says this is... Genius says Wayne is taking shots at Drake, but then the comment is like, I don't think Wayne was dissing Drake. Like, Wayne literally owns Drake, kind of, technically. All right, I'm being a little crazy here, but yeah. Big X the Plug delivers, real solid hook, awesome, loved it. Jay Jones, his verse kind of grew on me. it didn't exactly hit for me the first few times. Now I listen to it and I'm like, that's a good solid verse. It's not one of my favorites, but I mean, like, it's a thing. And then I I like I like Wayne's first verse especially. It sticks in my head. Second verse, that sticks in my head, especially that first part where it's like Godzilla, Chinchilla, Ben Franklin, Ben Stiller. I'm adding pauses because I can't say those words. This one has got to be an A for me. And looking at this now, it looks very top heavy. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull King Carter down here. I'm going to go C with it. Next track on this album, Sharks. Lil Wayne, he gets Jelly Roll in to do the hook. And then he gets my boy Big Sean, reppin' Detroit. In this one, Wayne delivers verses. One of my biggest gripes with how people look at this album is that sorry, 3:48 in the morning. Lil Wayne still raps. He's still delivering good rap performances on most of these songs. Not going to say all of them, but most of them. And he delivers these. And it's the same kind of stuff he's been saying for years. So, you know, it might be a little old at this point, but I mean, he's still hitting. So of course his verse is great. I love Big Sean's verse on this. I think it's the second best verse on the whole entire album. We'll get to what the best one is, but yeah, Big Sean has the second best verse on this album. I'm locking that in. That is my strong opinion. So, with what I think is a solid Wayne verse, an enjoyable Jelly Roll hook, that now that I hear it sung in his voice, I couldn't hear it sung in anyone else's. Like, he just has a way of singing things that's so, it almost feels unique to him, even though maybe he's not exactly unique. A solid Jelly Roll hook. The yawns are hitting now. Solid Wayne verse, solid Jelly Roll hook. The second best verse on the album. This one's got to be an A, and it's got to be above hip hop, which, by the way, I will try and order this as I go. Next track, it's a Wayne solo one. It's banned from NO, which definitely means New Orleans, but I had the opportunity, so I just did banned from No. The chorus is kind of catchy, and they call it a chorus on here and then a refrain. There's some catchy bars in here, but this song to me, like, solid chorus, solid refrain or whatever. His verse is just kind of didn't quite hit for me. Like, I don't remember. The only line I remember is from his second verse where he shouts out Tim Westwood. That's it. Oh, and apparently the part where he says Ferrari license plate reads 666. See, I thought that was part of a chorus or something. Oh, it is part of the refrain later on. But it's like these are all, I don't have memory for the verses. This one, kind of a forgettable track to me. I'm going to put it below King Carter. It's not bad, but it's kind of forgettable. All right. Now, as you can see, maybe we're taking a little bit of downturn. Now we've got the Bono feature. I know when the list of features, I think it was first leaked, whatever list of features also had Miley Cyrus on it. It had U2 on it. And I was like, whew, we're really stretching our bag here, Lil Wayne. This better be good. And I actually really like this tune. I think it's a nice little solid tune. I really like Bono's chorus. Not a lot of variance in like the lines themselves. I mean, most of the lines in the chorus are "these are the days," or "the days," or "the days blah blah blah." Like, one of these lines doesn't mention the word days in it, and it's looking up at the stars as we're flat on the floor. Now, the second chorus is a little bit longer, so it's like, it's a good solid tune. I really like Bono's performance. Lil Wayne's bars on this, like, I don't really remember any of these, gotta be honest. I think I can kind of remember the flow, but like, again, a solid performance from Bono. I'm gonna put this before Banned from NO. I like it just a little bit better. Oh, here we go. We're now at Cotton Candy. Lil Wayne, 2 Chainz reached in their bag and pulled out the craziest saxophone I have ever heard in my entire life. The whole tune, it's just sorry for yawning, but it's just ripping throughout the whole thing. And I'm a sucker for jazz music. I kind of grew up on it. I play trombone, as some of you may have seen that one video. So like, I have a deep appreciation for jazz music. I didn't really get into listening to it a whole ton, especially not like, I mean, I know the names of the greats, but like, I didn't really listen to tunes. But hearing that crazy sax rip, like, oh my god, that just threw me out. So crazy sample, love it. Chorus, awesome. This is another one that kind of stuck in my head. Wayne's first verse, it's not bad. It's actually better than the past few I've said forgettable Wayne verses, basically. This one actually has a memorable Wayne verse. So it's like up there. Sorry. But it's up there. It's up there. And he does reference Kesha and Eric B. and Rakim in the same verse. And in that same verse also Slim Shady and Tom Brady. And then here's the third best verse of the album. Again, gotta give it to a feature. but 2 Chainz lays it down. This is the perfect track for top tier Goofy Wayne and 2 Chainz to just show up and rip it. And that's what they did. This track is awesome. This is one of the ones that I think will stay in a nice groovy rotation for me. I know a lot of people are not talking about replaying this album. I love Cotton Candy. It's one of the best tunes. I think this and Bells so far are probably the ones that will stay in my rotation. Now, I like Sharks a lot, and I like hip-hop. Hip-hop might be groovy enough. Maybe I'll play that sometimes. But Sharks sits in that, like, I admire it for its, like, performance. So, yeah. Cotton Candy's going up here. Even though Sharks has a better feature verse, I think Cotton Candy is just a great sound. You know what? Cotton Candy's going up in S tier. Great sound. Amazing track. Now, meanwhile, after Cotton Candy, one of the most memorable, amazing tracks, I forget every time I played this album. I was like, oh yeah, after Cotton Candy comes Island Holiday. No, there's a track in between them. This Flex Up is possibly one of the most forgettable songs on the entire project. Forgettable. I mean, the only lines I remember are in the chorus. I just talked to Hove. I just talked to Hove, and he told me he's seen me. Funny heard the same thing when I talked to Stevie. That's the only line that I remember. And that's because I listened to it and I go, huh, that's funny. Oh, that's right. He says it 3 more times. I think it's only a couple more times. But, like, it's just not... This is not a memorable tune for me. And for that reason, I'm putting it in D tier. All right. Now we're on to the one that I thought came next. This is probably one of the most controversial takes I'm going to have. Island Holiday. If you've ever heard the song Island in the Sun by Weezer, this is... Genius calls it essentially a cover, especially in the chorus. But this one feels like Wayne heard this song for the first time in the studio and was like, why haven't I sampled that yet? I need to rap over Island in the Sun. And I say, Lil Wayne, how come you didn't think of this before? This is amazing. I know. Controversial take here. This is one of the best... I'm going to sound so stupid saying this. This is one of the best songs on the album. Not really, but I love when I can tell that an artist had a good time making a song. This, you can tell Lil Wayne had a good time making this song. This is like no worries level of enjoyment. Like, he is just vibing out. And you know what? Awesome. I love it. I'm going to put it in B. Because it's not better songs than like Sharks or hip hop. But the enjoyment I get out of it elevates it past like Welcome to the Carter. Next track. Okay. So Loki's theme. This started out as a forgettable track for me. I would always say Island Holiday if I played guitar. That's how the album goes. And then I would remember that this song exists. That's how it started. He drops bars in this one. And not a fan of the chorus particularly. It never really resonated with me. But the second verse, so at the beginning before the beat starts playing, I thought it was at the end of Island Holiday for a while, but it's actually at the beginning of this one. There's like this part where he's like putting out rhymes, like be walk on this sidewalk, I'ma leave chalk, I don't know what the fuck he thought, I put one in his head like a deep, and it stops. I was like, oh no, the song stopped. And then the song actually started. And I'm like, huh. It took me a while to notice. That's the exact same lines he uses to start verse 2. And I enjoyed verse 2 a lot. Verse 1, I enjoy it, but it's not, I mean, it's kind of here or there. He mentioned Snoopy, and I'm like, that's pretty awesome. But I really like the flow on his second verse, and it's much shorter too. This one, I mean, Loki's theme, it's like I'm pretty sure he samples Loki's theme from like Marvel, although don't quote me on that. It just sounds cinematic, so I want to say it is. I'll put this one in B. It's good. Don't get me wrong. It's a nice, solid track. It just never really resonated with me. Now, this is a very polarizing part of the album, because we go from Island Holiday, very fun. Loki's theme, okay, kind of forgettable at first, but the more you listen to it, now we are. I'm reading the comments on okay, they got better as I kept going. This is another one of my hot takes here. So this track, if I played guitar, I think it's my favorite track off the album. The chorus is genuinely written. Sorry. The chorus is genuinely written so well. Like, it's like every time this song comes on, yes, the verses are great, whatever. I'm waiting for the chorus. Because this song is the type of song that I'm singing. And to talk about the verses, it's like the first verse, whatever. Second, I like the second verse better. Third verse is good too, like the second one. My least favorite one is the first one, but even then it's like a solid verse. This is one of my favorite tunes off the album. This one, I'm going to put this one here below Bells and Cotton Candy. This one is on par with Sharks in that I won't play this all the time, but I recognize like the artistry that goes into it, and like being able to like truly express yourself like this. And I resonate with the message. It's when that chorus comes on, it's so singable, right? He might not be perfect while he's singing it, but that's almost better, because now if you're not perfect while singing it, it's okay, because nobody was perfect to begin with. And here's where the polarization comes in. We were having a pretty fun time. I mean, there's some forgettable tracks. We got Flex Up, band from NO, The Days, but then we've also had some fun ones, some sentimental ones, and now we get to the one that I don't even have to really explain. Peanuts to an Elephant. Like, it's not to be mean, but it's so bad. Huh. This has got to be a no. Okay, I knew it had to do something. Okay. So I checked the credits on Genius, because I'm going through these, reading through lyrics and stuff to make sure I have comprehensive thoughts behind these, right? I go to the credits. It says it interpolates 6 foot, 7 foot, which there's the line about peanuts to an elephant on this one. I don't remember where it is, but it makes sense. I think it does. I went to look at the producer. Please let me know if this is sincerely a joke. Did Lin-Manuel Miranda produce Peanuts to an Elephant? You know what? Let's find out. Who produced? Apologies for slow typing. I'm doing it one-handed while I hold my microphone in the other hand. Holy fuck. No. No shot. I'm sorry. This is so funny to me. Yes, absolutely. I mean, I don't want to shit on Lin-Manuel Miranda because he's made a lot of good, like, he's done a lot for, like, Hamilton and, like, the plays and all that stuff. And he does a lot of good work. How did a Lin-Manuel Miranda beat end up in Lil Wayne's hands? And why did they decide to make this? No offense, but this beat is ass. Why is there an elephant? Why is an elephant the feature on this thing? Why is it... No offense, but why is it so annoying? That's where it is. Okay. The 6 foot, 7 foot interpolation is you peoples are gelatin, peanuts to an elephant. It's basically just that one line. Yes. Also, like, even if you discount the verses, because the verses are like, like, they're not great. I'm gonna be honest. That nothing, I couldn't tell you, like, a line from any of these. Its title is The Refrain Here. But even when he goes, like, a little more, like, sing-song, like, talking all that shit is irrelevant. Like, it just doesn't sit well with me. Also, I made the song better. You know how bad your song has to be that I make it better? He goes all red elephant, bitch, Donald Trump, right? But he's saying it like Donald Trump. But I still acted donkey, like, ha, what's up? You had the perfect chance to rhyme Donald Trump with Kamala and make it so locked in this time period that maybe somebody could come back to it someday and be like, haha, that's funny. But come on. What's up? I don't know. It probably made more sense when he was making it, but like, I don't. You know what? I'm going to stop because I could talk about my personal opinions on how ass this song is for a while. And unfortunately, we go from one ass song to a slightly better song. I'm talking Rari. Now, this one is... This one... That's funny. At the top of the page it has Future, and I'm like, Future wasn't on this song. It's because he's the guy saying the producer tag. So that's funny. So I'm not gonna go too hard on the chorus, because the chorus is sung by Lil Wayne's son, who is way too young. He's 16? He did not sound 16. I'm sorry. But yeah, okay, so he's 16. I feel a little bit better. His chorus, great, like, hits the back of my head in a way that it does not sit well, and this might just be a me thing. Also, Lil Wayne's verse is mid. His second verse starts with, "Heard I live close by Iggy, I could send her some azaleas," which is funny because who's still talking about Iggy Azalea in 2025? Oh, that's this song. Rari has that one song that went around for a while, this one lyric, where the beat basically low-key cuts out, and he goes, "All my friends dead, rest in peace, Matthew Perry." And it's like, bro, did you have to? Like, I know he passed away and we all miss him, but like, the way he said it sounded so, I don't know. You can get a more comprehensive thing of people clowning it somewhere else. Yeah, the Wayne verses are just kind of hit or miss for me, and then the chorus itches a weird back part of my skull. This one's going in F, but I'm gonna do it justice. Put it above Peanuts to an Elephant. So there you go. We're getting there. We're almost done. Now we move on to Maria. At first, I was worried because we had Peanuts to an Elephant, ass. Rari, ass, at least to me. There is something to be said about how Maria doesn't, like, Andrea Bocelli, as, like, I think it's more of a sample thing, really. It doesn't like sit in the beat well, but as I've listened to it more and more, it's kind of grown on me, and I do like that. The way it's engineered is really nice, actually. And here is where we're going to be talking. This is what I wanted to talk about. I think this song has the best verse on this whole project. I think Wyclef Jean, again, another feature verse, he comes up and he rips it. This is possibly one of the most fire, like, verses off, at least off of this project. It's number one. This is one of the best verses I think I've heard in a while. It flows well. It sits in the groove, the pocket well. It gets across a message. Like, this is genuinely a fantastic verse. And then he does a sing-songy chorus, which he's kind of known for. I mean, his biggest hit was Hips Don't Lie, where he kind of goes like, baby, I know you really dance like that. Como se llama? Yeah, we know Hips Don't Lie. So, like, he's got more of like a singy thing to him, and he delivers the chorus, solid singing. And then I'm gonna say he does his best, but don't let that get to your head right now. Wait for me to explain it. Lil Wayne comes in with his verse, and he does his best to match Wyclef Jean. And what I mean by that is, this is one of the best verses we've heard from Wayne on this project. Maybe the best. If I'm taking out all the features, I think this might be one of the best Wayne verses on this album. And unfortunately, it's on the track where Wyclef rips it apart back and forth. So Wayne's verse doesn't really get talked about. Well, neither of their verses do, because nobody's talking about this song. Not that I've seen. Nobody's talking about this project that I've seen anymore. It came out in June. I'm doing this video in November. But it's one of those tracks where both of these rappers came to play, but in the game. But unfortunately, I mean, Wyclef just kills it. And then Wayne does his own, like, he takes the chorus and sings it himself. And honestly, it's not as bad as you think it would be. He actually does a pretty solid job. Not as good as Wyclef, of course. And it's kind of like the Lil Wayne, like, soaked in auto-tune kind of singing. But, I mean, it's still good. But this is an amazing... it's a good example of what it sounds like when two rappers just come to rap. I'm gonna put this up here. I'm not really coming back to it. It kind of sits in the same space as Sharks to me, where I look at it and go, wow, that's some pretty damn impressive rapping. But unlike Sharks, it doesn't have like as catchy of a hook, or it doesn't have that like a little picked up vibe, so I'm not coming back to it all the time. Now, if you want a good vibe, Being Myself, our next track. I actually enjoy this one. It has Manny Fresh, who is the producer on this one. You've definitely heard Manny Fresh. He's produced Element off of Damn for Kendrick Lamar. So that's how. So he brought in a good producer, and he delivered. And for some reason on YouTube Music, it has Manny Fresh listed as a feature, which I don't particularly know why. Maybe Manny Fresh is the one ripping the flute. This is like cotton candy to me. The flute, it's not a sax this time, it's a flute. It's going crazy in the background. And literally, it's going nuts. Not as nuts as the saxophone in Cotton Candy, but pretty damn close. And then Wayne comes out. There's no 2 Chainz this time, so Wayne's got to bring it himself, and boy does he. First off, the chorus, great. My favorite line is like, do a song by myself and feature myself. Like, come on, that's funny, that's genius right there. And I think a lot of there is something to be said about how many lines are like just basically different lines of saying myself or yourself, herself, himself, myself, self. Like there's a lot of that, but there's also so many other like slant rhymes thrown in there that like I'd look past it. I do every time. First verse, solid. I mean, my favorite line from the first verse is, and I'm gonna be frank for my Franklins. Thanks, Ben. Like, come on, that's funny. And then the second verse, he's going off, like, this is a good vibe to me, and for that reason, I'm gonna put this. I think I'm gonna put this top of B tier. I don't think that the performances on it are like fantastic, right? Like, I mean, they're good. They're good, solid verses, and I love the crazy flute on it. I might even come back to this one to listen to. I say all these like songs that I might come back to. I am probably only coming back to like Bells and Cotton Candy, but like I can see myself coming back to a Sharks, a hip hop, a Myself. If I need a good funny song, I'm pulling out Island Holiday, right? If I need a good sentimental song, I'll pull out If I Played Guitar. Maybe I'll even pull out Maria. It's different vibes, but like it's just, yeah, I like that. All right. Oh boy. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Lil Novi is another one of Wayne's kids. And for some reason, Wayne's kids do not feel good in my head whenever they say anything. And also, most of this song is his kid. Because his kid, right off the top, does the chorus, does the first verse, does the chorus again. Wayne comes in for the second verse. Chorus goes back to his kid. And then outro, it's the both of them. This doesn't feel like a Wayne song enough to me. And also, it's not a sound that I would choose to listen to most of the time. This one's going bottom of D tier for me. I don't think it's quite Rari bad to me, but it's certainly down there. We're almost there. We got 2 tracks left. We've got maybe one of the more controversial takes I'll have on this album. Not the most. My most was probably putting If I Played Guitar in S tier. Or Island Holiday above a D. Like, but this is going to be maybe controversial to some regard. Alone in the Studio with My Gun. It has a Wayne, it's got Wayne verses. It's got an MGK hook on it. Yep, that's right. Machine Gun Kelly. That's right. He is still alive. Eminem didn't literally kill him. It's got a Wayne verse on it. The Wayne verse, solid. I actually really like this verse. It's nice to listen to. MGK's hook. Now, in order to talk about MGK's hook, I need to talk about the second verse too. From Kodak Black. Take a deep breath. Breathe in with me. Breathe out with me. And prepare yourself. Who let Kodak on this album? And why is it ass? Now, I know in the past I've kind of not, especially I've not had great opinions of Kodak. I personally don't get it. Whatever he's doing, I'm not part of the crowd that, like, gets it. So it's always been like a whatever. This verse from Kodak on the song that's talking about someone who's definitely dealing with issues, right? Like, they're in their studio. Like, in their studio, there is more guns than guitars. That's a line. And, like, MGK's hook is like, I don't have a heart. I can't fuck with anyone. We have smoke. I put it in my lungs. I ran away from everyone, right? If you read through Kodak's verse, it almost kind of follows the same pattern that his feature verse on Drowning did. Like, it starts with Kodak talking about, like, maybe shouting out the other person on the album, which I know he does, like, "Hey Boogie, I'm going solo," or whatever. Then he talks about, for a quick line, he talks about how he's playing with that pussy like a banjo. I get that a studio has instruments in it. This is a song about someone who's honestly probably on the brink of killing themselves. Why does Kodak spend most of the time talking about, I'm just getting high, having a great time? And, like, later on in the verse, he mentions that he's Haitian again. Like, there's a line where he's like, press and record, running back and forth because there ain't no engineer today. I know there was an engineer in the room when he said that. You know what? Maybe there wasn't. Even if we give him the benefit of the doubt, like, I get that, like, that could relate back to, like, the alone in the studio, right? There's no engineer. He did tap into the alone in the studio part for that, like, one line. And then immediately he's talking about getting high again. Like, you forgot the "with my gun" part, Kodak. Sorry, I went on a little bit of a rant, but Kodak's verse is the worst on the album. Like, worse than any. I've talked about bad verses, right? Like, I don't like the choruses on Moolah Coming In or Rari. Peanuts to an Elephant doesn't have good verses. Flex Up, forgettable. Even, like, Banned from NO, kind of forgettable. That's like bad verses, right? Kodak's performance is worse than any feature, any hook, any verse that Wayne wrote on the whole project. But unfortunately, it's such a good Wayne verse and a good solid performance on the hook from MGK. The way he sings it, like, this was perfect for him. This is like the type of hook that he can sing well. Like, we need a Alone in the Studio with My Gun mix to drop without Kodak. Like how the music video for Drowning doesn't have Kodak's verse in it. Like, we need that for this song. It's such a good song, but it's so pulled down by that Kodak verse. I was originally going to put it maybe up at, like, the top of C tier, but the more I talk about it, I am not putting this song on because of Kodak's performance. I am going to put it top of D tier. It's better because it's a nice solid Wayne verse and it's a good solid MGK hook. So it's memorable to me. I love the song. Just take Kodak off of it. And then we finally get to the last track of the album that's the standard album, because there's a couple deluxe. And I know I've been talking for about an hour now, but I kind of felt like this would be a longer video. It is a nice in-depth album review, so I did want this to be a little longer. Written history. I got an image of a history book for this one. Isn't that funny? Intro. I didn't realize this until looking at Genius right now. He takes it from Muhammad Ali, which, if you haven't listened to Written History, the song is all about how he's the greatest of all time. Like, he's the greatest rapper. So, like, a Muhammad Ali intro makes sense. And this is some of Wayne's better performance bars, at least in my opinion. And I love the chorus. I love the hook. I ain't gotta say this all the time. They know I'm the greatest of all time. So fuck that person if I ain't that person. Like, it not resonates, because that makes it sound like it's a message I identify with, but like it hits a soothing spot in my head. I do really like the tune. So actually, I'm gonna take this one and I'm gonna put it where I was going. You know what? This one's got to sit up here. It's got to go above, like, Welcome to the Carter. It is a great tune. Like I said, if I really want to, I might tack on the remix of Band from NO with Nicki Minaj. Oh boy. And then the Mama Don't Worry with Future and Lil Baby. So I might give those a listen, and then see if maybe I'll tack them on. Maybe I won't. Who knows? But there's my tier list. So like I said, and like you can tell, most of these songs actually sit at like a B or higher. C is where we start getting to like maybe some more forgettable. King Carter's really good, but it's not long enough to like substantiate itself. Unfortunately, it's just that the D's and the F's are such like not great performances that it pulls it down so much for me, especially when it comes to Alone in the Studio with My Gun. That song absolutely like grates on my ears so bad whenever Kodak comes in, and it's so sad. So there's my opinions of the Wayne album as it regards to like which songs are better. Overall, I really like the album. It's a nice listen. Okay, maybe I won't say I really like it. I like it. I will probably enjoy it more once I stop listening to it on loop for multiple days on end, and then also when I start picking out some of my favorite songs from it, then I can go listen to Cotton Candy once in like a week and actually have a good time listening to it, instead of anticipating Island Holiday and then being disappointed by Flex Up. Or listening to If I Played Guitar if I'm feeling really down, and then immediately followed by Peanuts to an Elephant. Like, or like Being Myself into Moolah coming in. Like, there's some misses. But there's something else I want to do before I leave, and this is probably going to take another hour too. But I wanted to add an extra twist, right? Because I don't want to just rank songs, right? I gave my ideas, what I think about them. But I want to talk about more than that. I want to make it fun. What's the best way you know to make it fun? I'll let you think on it for a minute while I make sure everything's great. Let's make sure everything works. Yeah, okay. Let's do this real quick. I want to shuffle this up more. Okay. Great. I have made a let me look at it, please. I would like to look at it. It's not letting me look at it, and that is unfortunate beyond all degrees. There's the tier list. This worked last time. Hold on. Huh, weird. Alright, I just started a new one. That's right, I turned it into a bracket. Sports fans are gonna love this one. Alright, this is as far as I can zoom in. So, we're gonna have a few pre-rounds, as you can see over here. And down here. Oh, and down here too. So we're gonna do those first and then move on with the tournament. But basically what I've done is I listed out all the songs, I shuffled them up, and I just want to see like maybe what's my favorite one. You know what I'm saying? See which one wins in a bracket. So first off, Loki's theme, Flex Up. I'm gonna go Loki's theme. Like I said, Flex Up is a boring track to me. Next we've got Moolah coming in and Sharks. That's going to Sharks easy. Ooh, this one's the first kind of hard one. I'm going to give it to hip hop because King Carter is not really long enough to constitute a good full song. It's a minute 49 and it's an intro. It doesn't even have Wayne on it. Let's start this off with Island Holiday, Loki's theme. This might be one of my controversial takes here in this tournament style. I'm going to go Island Holiday. I have more fun listening to it. Maria Rari, easiest Maria of my life. One of these is good to me. Cotton Candy, Banned from NO. This one's going to Cotton Candy. Banned from NO was kind of a mid song. Maybe once I listen to the remix, it'll get better. Or maybe Nicki Minaj's verse will make me think worse of both of them. The Days, Being Myself. This one's got to go to Being Myself. I have a better time listening to it. Unfortunately, a rough matchup here against Cotton Candy, but Welcome to the Carter or Sharks. This one's got to go to Sharks. It's a better performance, and come on, Big Sean. Written History and Bells. I think this one's kind of close, but Bells is better than Written History in my head. It's got a much more fun vibe to it. Peanuts to an Elephant and If I Played Guitar. The world hates both of these. I like one of these, and that one's moving on. Hip Hop or Alone in the Studio with My Gun. This one's actually my first hard matchup here, I think. And I think it's got to go to hip hop. Hip hop has good verses on top of a good hook and a good sound to it. Alone in the Studio with My Gun, great sound, great hook. I think I like the hook on hip hop better. I think I like Wayne's verse on Alone in the Studio with My Gun better, but Kodak brings it down so much. So I think I'm going to go hip hop here. Back to the top, Island Holiday versus Maria. This one's got to go to Maria. Hate to end the streak of Island Holiday so quick, but come on. There's no way I can say deep in my soul that Island Holiday, the Weezer cover, was a better performance than Wyclef on Maria. Cotton Candy versus Being Myself. Oh, this is the crazy instruments matchup, and it sucks. Because I would come back to both of these, but Cotton Candy has to take it, especially with that 2 Chainz verse. Sharks versus Bells. Oof. This is rough. I know I put Bells at the top in S tier and Sharks was an A tier. But the more I think about that Big Sean verse, I gotta think about them songs as a whole. That's what I gotta do here. And songs as a whole, I like Bells more. Big Sean's verse on Sharks, amazing. But Jelly Roll's hook, and Jelly Roll's hook was good too, but it's just that Jelly Roll's hook and Wayne's verses are at one point, and then the Big Sean verse is so good that it drags it up. On Bells, Lil Wayne's verses and chorus and all that is just higher average. I think I like Bells more here. If I Played Guitar versus hip hop. Oof. Sorry, my chair's squeaky. Oof. This one's rough. I think I'm gonna go with hip hop here, because when I listen to If I Played Guitar, I don't really know the verses off the top of my head, which I don't for hip hop either. But when that Big X the Plug hook comes on, oof, now we're talking about hooks, and I sing like I'm like belting to If I Play Guitar. You know what? I'm gonna go controversial here. I think I go If I Played Guitar. I love the Big X hook, but I think If I Played Guitar is just in my eyes, just a nicer tune to listen to. Oh my god, you gotta do this to me now. Maria versus Cotton Candy. Oof. This one's gotta go to Cotton Candy. Wyclef's performance is amazing. Oof. No, but now I'm thinking about the verses on Maria, and it's just it's all about vibes, and I think I love the vibe of Cotton Candy more. Because when you think about it, like, I can sit here and be like, Maria is a very well-written, lyrically amazing track. And then I can also, on the other hand, sit here and talk about how Cotton Candy is a nice lyrically written track for a different purpose. I think I gotta go with Cotton Candy here, although it's close. I will say it's closer than I thought it would be. Bells and If I Played Guitar. This one's not as close as the other matchup. It's got to be Bells. Like, every time that comes on, I'm going, L.I.L. Wayne is hot as hell. Like, come on. My bars hit like barbells. Gotta zoom out for this one. Holy zoom out. Cotton Candy versus Bells. Oh. Oh. This is rough, because they're both good tunes. You know what? I'm going to completely ignore the tier list on this one. I'm going Cotton Candy. Even though I'm just as likely to listen to both, they're both in S tier. So this is really just like a whatever. But I'm going to go Cotton Candy. And that is the Carter 6 songs bracket. I just thought doing a bracket would be a fun little way of just throwing something else together so it's not just a boring ass tier list, you know what I'm saying? And that actually didn't take nearly as long as I thought it would, especially since I've already said most everything I wanted to about these songs. So if you like this style of video where I go and break things down like this, especially album wise, maybe you want me to put myself through the pain of listening to an album. Maybe it's bad, maybe it's not. Maybe I'll have a hot take on it, maybe I won't. But if you want to put me through this experience and make me do another one of these videos, I for sure can. If you want me to do so, comment like an album. I don't think I want to do this style of video with an artist, because then you get into for example, a Busta Rhymes with 80,000 different albums, obviously for exaggeration purposes, 80,000 different albums with 85,000 different songs. That's not enough. That's like a track every album. Numbers don't number, but you get my point. People have a lot of albums. So I'm not doing this with artists. I'll only sit down and do this with an album. But hey, if you want me to do this again, comment an album down below. Otherwise, of course, there will always be, maybe not always, but I'll keep Explore the Disco going. I really enjoy getting to hear different artists like that and stuff. So fun times. Yeah, I think that's all I have to say. In the short of it all, is the Carter 6 Lil Wayne's best album? Hell no. Is it a good album? Is it an average album? I would contend it's average. You could argue between better than average, worse than average. In my head, I think it sits at about average, right? It's got some real high points, but then it also has low points that just bring it down. So, is this the worst entry in the Carter series? I'm going to be honest, I haven't listened to the full versions of all of those albums. So, I mean, picking and choosing hits, I pulled away less hits from this one than I think I have from the other Carter albums. So, but then again, I don't think I have, any Carter 2 in my rotation. So, maybe that's a gap in my whiteness that's keeping me from the elegance and pure artistry of the Carter 2. But, it's just, I mean, I haven't really gone there yet. But, like I said, is this his best album? Hell nah. Is it absolutely mid? Yeah. Is it mid in the way the kids are using the word mid? No, I just dated myself. I'm not that old, guys. I'm 20, almost 21. But is it mid bad? No, I'd say it's probably about average. But those are my overall thoughts real quick before I end it. I just want to say thank you for watching. Like I said before, comment an album you'd like to see me do this with, and peace, love. I'm always going to recommend to go read a book. I love reading, and I want to impart that on you. At the end of it all, when it's burning up, just hit some moves on that dance floor, and it'll all be okay. See ya.